Today, we are taking a look at a minimal and efficient YouTube studio. This is Creative Ryan's setup. He is an awesome content creator, freelancer, and friend. We've even done some collabs on the channel before. We'll see how he maximizes this space, what gear he uses, and break down his setup with some power tips so that you can get some information and inspiration for yours. All right, we are here in the studio with Creative Ryan, checking out his space. Ryan, thank you so much for having us here today. I'm really excited to see the space and to show everybody as well.
For sure, welcome.
So tell me a little bit about it.
It is a small bedroom, one small bedroom. I don't know the dimensions, but it is fairly small. I do shooting for YouTube videos in here. I do video editing, whether it's music video, YouTube, photography, whatever. And I also do some shooting for like product photography, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I gotta say props because you make this space look bigger than it is when I watch your videos. You know, it kind of has this like larger than life feel. I'm really excited to dive into some of this gear. Let's maybe start with your A-roll setup.
All right, let's do it. So my A-roll is typically right here. This is where I've made my main shot for my YouTube channel, and we're shooting right towards this closet where I've actually taken the doors off just to maximize the look, keep it open and flowy, and again, efficient.
Taking the doors off completely, like I wouldn't have thought to do that, but that really does make it feel like an extension of the space. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just throw them in the attic.
With your main A-roll, I noticed you're not using a tripod. So what are you doing? How are you making this
work? No
work?
tripod. I just thought it'd be more efficient than setting up the whole tripod over here and, you know, whatever. I have my tripod so I can go to other places around the room or in the house or whatever. This is just attached to the desk. Camera on it, I got it set to the same level, and I can also flip it or put an L bracket on, flip it, and do vertical shooting here as well.
Nice. So you got like a little vertical and horizontal setup.
Yeah.
And you're not needing to take up extra space with a tripod. Plus you still have this whole desk going on.
This desk, I usually keep things that I may be talking about, like right here handy, so I could just pull it up, show it to cam, just kind of sit down in this chair right here, and I bring it up to its max height, kind of use a 16 mil right here and just get kind of close up in the lens. Then I got this nice wide grand opening with the background and the lights and stuff, and it's just easy. I don't have my mic right here because I usually have it boomed over top of me right here, and that's in the closet, but yeah, I would typically use that. And then this light right here is used for everything. It's used to set an ambient light. I'll bring it down, lower it for a key light, and then sometimes I'll have it lit on the desk. And you know, that's kind of how it is set up.
Most people, beginners, could be like, oh, I want this as my background. I'm gonna set up right here.
Right.
But you're using the full length of the room by coming all the way over here. Plus, you have this window, so you can use that as a little bit of light, or you can block it out, and then you've got your other light over here. So you've got options, which is really cool. So I'm really enjoying the way that you have this set up. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the background of the shot.
Two things. I'll give some tips. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. One tip is what you just said, the depth. I had to take those doors off to get depth here because I usually shoot corner to corner because it's the longest amount of space in whatever little room you have. So for anybody that's starting, you got to shoot corner to corner and get that nice depth of field. But here I didn't have that because I like this frame right here. So I took the doors off to add a little bit more depth, and then I also framed it perfectly on that desk so that I'm centered right in between this door frame, and composition wise, you can see me dead center. And then I set this light up, which you were just asking about. This is the LifeX bar. I kind of just put it over top of this so that it kind of frames me perfect in my shot. These are like just leading lines kind of, especially like when you look in the frame, it kind of leads right to the center where my head is. So it draws your eye right into the middle where I'm talking. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks awesome. So what do you have you're throwing some color light back here as well. What are you doing with that?
I'm a light fanatic. I love lights. I have lights everywhere. So I got this little Aperture MC. This is the original MC. I'm just using the magnets on it, the feature for the magnets, and putting it on this rack that was already here in the closet, which shines down on top of kind of like my little gear station and also my 100,000 plaque,
yeah, no,
which is important.
That's so awesome. And like, I'm such a big fan of lights with magnets because you can just put them in such unique places and, you know, use them as little pops of color and accents. And it's an easy way to like add some life to your shots. So if you are in a smaller space, realize you're actually in some ways having an advantage because you're not needing to light up a massive space. You have a smaller space, which means you can buy cheaper lights like this small little aperture light, and you'll be able to get more out of it, just like how Ryan is doing here, which is pretty awesome.
I mean, you can put it all over the place, you know, like even like right here, I could set this here, and I've got this little ball head right here where I can mount my camera, and I'll have a little key light and this little cheap mount right here on the closet stand. And I kind of got like a key light already and a talking head. I could really do like a YouTube video just right here with this little thing and that little thing.
So what I'm hearing is like, you really don't need to have a ton of things. You can just get creative with, you know, a few things and really make it work to your advantage, which is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah.
I have a similar type of plant in my setup, and I actually will use the plant as a background itself. So like sometimes I'll come up and use it like, oh, I'm gonna get a little shot of like a small product and it's like green background. It's like adding life and color, but it's also has a utility to it.
A prop.
Yeah,
a prop.
It is a prop, exactly.
Yep. Then I got this, this is a cheap little Walmart stand. It was like $9.99. And I made sure that I got the white frost so that this aperture bulb in there, I could, you know, it would glow nicely with color or whatever. Colors is important too because it affects your mood. I mean, there's like a whole psychology behind it. I think blue's like productivity.
It makes a lot of sense because as soon as I walked in here, I felt way more productive.
Yes.
I was like, we're gonna film like 5 videos right now. It's the blue.
It's the blues everywhere. I have a M1 Max 16-inch Pro, and it's got a little stand from Amazon just to make it look cool. And I got the studio display.
That's what I have as well. That's a great display.
Got this Flexi Spot standing desk, which is cool. I did like a sponsorship with them, so they looked out for that. And I made sure to get like the black legs to kind of match like other black accessories around here.
Yeah.
And then the white tabletop to keep it like bright and inspiring rather than too dark.
One really nice benefit of white desks is it also acts as a bounce for if you're being near it. So like even now, like light is bouncing around and kind of like
off of here,
illuminating from it. So honestly, going black and white is so great because then when you add in the RGBs, it can really be anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really versatile.
Neutral and then a pop of color. I just got some lights here. You know, these little lights just to add like a vibe when I'm editing. My mic that I typically use. I got this creative logo just for inspiration. And Brandon, make it look good, baby.
All right, so we're talking about a lot of this gear, but obviously you've got to be able to charge it all. So where are you set up to do that?
Right here, right over by the window. So this is a pegboard from IKEA. Charging cables, little things in these spaces. I got this little light, obviously, like lights, like to make it pop, make it look cool.
So one of the common themes I'm seeing kind of in this space is like you're utilizing the edges of the room, right? So it's like we're able to kind of like just walk through this space in the middle and it makes it feel very open, but you're utilizing like this wall as a backdrop. This wall is charging, you know, even this table is up against the wall. You know, over here you've got like the closet space all up against the wall, and so you're really just using a perimeter of the room for your gear, and that allows you to shoot in different directions and like, you know, get creative in different ways. So I think that's a really cool way to try to utilize the space is like if you are working in a smaller setup or any setup really, try working with the edges so that you can shoot in different angles.
Definitely in small spaces too, because I like to keep this space open because that way if I need to, I can take this desk, bring it out here to the middle, and I can shoot like on it, shoot for like products at this backdrop or that way, or just keeping this space open for me to be able to move stuff, light stands, you know, tripod, if I want to bring this out here and set up a cool angle like that, or I just want to, you know, quickly be able to maneuver around in here. It just makes it super efficient. And when you have a small space, you have to do that. You have to work around that, you know, those limitations.
And I like that word actually, limitations. You know, I think that it's like having limits is what makes us creative.
Oh yeah.
I've heard a quote before that's passion plus limitation equals innovation.
Yes.
And it's like just having these constraints, it allows us to get really creative as problem solvers and coming up with cool solutions. So I think that's a cool way to view that situation if you're in a smaller space. Dialing in your YouTube studio can massively increase your productivity, and we all go about it a little bit differently. If you want to check out my YouTube studio setup, continue on to this video here. I've placed links in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay creative. Peace.